Today we're going to work with living grid systems. We're going to do it with Moose helping me out with the grid system. And as we're working with the grid systems, I'm just going to show you how I immersively work with him specifically and give you tips and tricks along the way. So watch all the way through for all of the tricks, and then at the very end I'm going to also talk about how you work with other animals that aren't Moose, like birds and other things that aren't really kind of things that you actually pull into your house. So I want to say, like, my biggest piece with this guy was that he wanted to come in and support. He's a very much so grounding energy, and he grounds a whole lot while I'm out and about so that I can do my stuff, which is mostly a lot of kind of out of earth frequencies that I kind of bring into the space and I anchor. So he helps me do that. So talking a little bit about the grid. The grid to me is, it's a unified field. It's an interconnected web, which I'm sure a lot of you work with. I know a lot of you are doing this already. So this is just gonna be my perspective on it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna meet Moose as an equal. He's my partner in this. He's gonna show me what he wants to anchor, okay? Where he wants to be as I'm moving energy around from other spaces to anchor it down. So I actually do this first because this part of his neck is the most open energetically. Okay, it's gonna give me a lot of information, but not only that, I'm gonna just softly let him know that we're in partnership together. Okay, this is a heart space. The energy is gonna kind of move through my hands, and then he's going to shoot a line out to show me where he wants to be, okay? Now this is gonna go in this general direction right here, okay, which is actually a ley line. To me, it's quite a big crack, it's really big, and I'm looking for a node that's gonna connect all of these pieces. So generally there's lots of nodes, and nodes to me are just energetic hotspots that hold many different lines together, okay? It could be an intersection, it could be that it anchors a good portion of the whole web around here, okay, the whole grid system. So he's pointing in this direction, and I saw this earlier. So there is a node that's right here, and it's a pretty big one, and it's beautifully interconnecting with these trees around me, and it makes a divot right here where there's not a connection point right in front of us, okay? So that's always like, okay, we got something cooking up here. And if I ask that tree straight on what's going on energetically, it's showing me that there was a child that died there that was about 12 years old, okay? There's a river that runs down here that can get pretty steep sometimes. It looks like there was a fall in there. He did get pulled out, but it did end up not working out. So I can see his body actually right there, which to me means that it didn't quite finish its cycle and the energy wants it to move. Stay. Now, Moose pointed out there is something going on right here, okay? There's a little bit of a rift. So the energy pulls right there, and it doesn't naturally flow back in harmony. So we're gonna do this process again, working that string, okay? Put your weight all the way down. Good job, buddy. Stay. All right, so naturally, as soon as I moved that line over, he came over to finish the line with me, all right? So I didn't have to do anything with that. That's his own natural instinct. He does it all the time, and I have to watch for that because he shoots me a ping right before he's gonna do it. Because as soon as I shifted that over to the middle line, he wanted to finish off the grounding. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Good job, handsome. Yeah, good job. Now I'm just gonna check in with him. Look at this completed circle right here to see if there's anything else that it wants me to do. This one was relatively simple to kind of put on. Nope, he's just showing me he wants to come back over here for a second. Good job. And hold it there, buddy. Good boy. So as he's putting all of his body weight into it, I'm just watching the rest of this spin to see what we've got going on. He's going to anchor each of these lines into the central point right here. And it's done. Great, good job, buddy. Good boy. Now, if you're working with an animal or you're just starting out, or even if a lot of you are already doing this work, which is fantastic, I want to see it, by the way, take a second to just step back because they already know what they're doing as well. And for me, I've got to get out of my own head. I've got to get a good feel for where I am grounding in, and then walk and look at them as equals. Okay, what are they willing to show us? And for your animals, for one, dogs are pretty simple on where they want to go. Cats, which I have one too, as most of you know, they work all over the place. They're generally like jumping through all kinds of portals and things like that. So it's just being very, very present to like what they need in the space, because they're gonna do the work mostly. I don't need to do anything with my cat. In fact, last night I was sitting up and I was watching Moose, and he was grounding some energy at our house. And so he would sit up, he would turn to a slight corner, and he would lie down. And then I would hear my cat go back and forth. And I was just watching these guys, and it was freaking hilarious, because he would go, "Hey, Max, you've missed a spot." And I would see Max pull through this portal, move this energy out, and pull it back out. And he would get back up, turn another direction, and lay back down, right? So, just watch, be very internal in yourself and see what your compass is, and let them kind of guide you in the space. Now, if we're talking about animals who aren't like household pets or things like that, that's a whole different story. And I've been out with all kinds of animals: buffaloes, moose, deer, birds of prey, working grid lines. And for the most part, they're the ones who intentionally bring me into the space. As again, it's a partnership. I'll have generally vision the night before or something like that, and I know I'm supposed to go to that space, which I'm sure a lot of you do. And naturally, they're there somewhere. So as I'm working the grid system, they're either going to fly to different places, or if we're talking about bigger animals, they're going to just come into view. They're going to do their work. I've had many of them come really close to me because we're in partnership together, and then go back out. Our animals are massive here as far as the work that we're doing right now, as you can tell. They help us move everything. So I just wanted to let you guys know how I do it, and encourage you guys to get out and do it yourself. Be very intuitive about it, get a feel for it. And also, I created a grid quest, a grid reality quest for you all, if you guys want to jump in, if you're new to it, or even if you're not. This just gives you a little bit more information and parameters to go and play yourself and get more trust and confidence in how you do it. We're going to do it with Moose, helping me out with the grid system. And as long as